All right, joining us to break it all down, our Washington Post political reporter, Philip Bump, and editor of the Politico caucus, Stephen Shepard. Both are joining us. Thanks, guys, for being with us. First, let me start with you, Philip. This speech that we just heard from John Kasich, what do you make of it? I mean, it is very interesting that he didn't explicitly call out Ted Cruz and Donald Trump by name, but he talked about a lot of the proposals that both of those candidates are proposing, including, he said, proposals to create a religious test for immigration to target neighborhoods for surveillance, impose draconian tariffs, which would crush trade and destroy American jobs. Your take?
What I believe, too.
I mean, I think what John Kasich is trying to do here is he understands that the question is if Donald Trump gets the delegates he needs in order to clinch the nomination before the convention. If he doesn't, Ted Cruz has the second most delegates, but Kasich knows that the people who are on the convention floor, the Republican establishment, doesn't really like Ted Cruz either. Ted Cruz also doesn't do very well against Hillary Clinton in a theoretical matchup in November. So I think what Kasich is trying to do here is he's trying to remind his own party that they have a third choice when they get to the convention, governor of a big state, of a swing state, and this is something that he can say to them, you don't want these other two guys, you want me.
Stephen, I do want to ask you, Ted Cruz has moved on from New York now, where he's trailing by more than 30 points in the polls. He's now focusing on the more delegate-rich California, but that state doesn't vote until late June. Can you talk about the strategy here in both Kasich staying in New York, trying to get the delegates, and Cruz moving on?
Sure. John Kasich is moving into a good part of the calendar for him. Not just New York on April 19th. And look, Donald Trump is likely to win New York. It's his home state. He's currently over 50% in almost all the polls. But on the following week, 5 more Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states vote: Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, where John Kasich is, in most cases, running in second, or he and Ted Cruz are neck and neck. He needs to be the firm anti-Trump candidate in those states. And that's why he's kind of lumping Donald Trump and Ted Cruz together so that he can vault into that slot, the slot that Ted Cruz took in Wisconsin last week. As for Cruz in California, it's true that the California primary isn't until the beginning of June. June 7th, one of the last primaries are all held on that day. But a lot of California voters are going to vote by mail, and those ballots are going to go out in about 3 weeks' time. So voters will have their ballots soon, a lot sooner than early June, and they'll be able to return those ballots at any time during the month of May and into early June in the mail. And Ted Cruz wants to be on their minds and wants to get out there early, while some of the other candidates, John Kasich, Donald Trump, are a little bit slower to the draw in California.
Philip, what do you make of Donald Trump doubling down on his criticism of the GOP primary process, calling it crooked? I mean, when it benefits him, he's all for it. When it doesn't benefit him because of a lack of a ground game or whatever, he criticizes it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous, right? I mean, it is definitely the case that each party, both the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, set up a system that they feel like they're going to have better odds getting the candidate they want. That's absolutely the case. But the system isn't rigged. Donald Trump runs a very bad ground game. He's never won a close race by virtue of the fact that he's done better work on the ground in that state. And so what he's doing now is he's essentially whining. He's whining about the fact that he got totally out-hustled in Colorado, had absolutely no idea what was going on, actually had a staff person who got fired and then replaced shortly before the thing. He got beat. He got beat badly. And as is usually the case when Donald Trump gets beaten, what he does is complain about the process. It's what we saw in Iowa. We've seen it multiple times. It's what he's doing now.
And I don't know that it's necessarily working with voters who are watching this.